My name is Paul Schleicher, and I'm proud to serve as the president of the Attleboro YMCA Board of Directors. Thank you for joining us for the Attleboro YMCA's gratitude event. We wish that we could be expressing our appreciation in person, but as you all know, 2020 has been a challenging year. However, it's also been a year that's brought us all together in new ways. As a retired fire chief for the town of Norton, I have experienced how powerful a community can be when we come together. I saw that many times over the course of my career, but I have never seen anything quite like we've seen in 2020. At the Y, we've been overwhelmed by the generosity and tremendous support of our members, our donors, our volunteers, and our community. We've seen area organizations come together to develop new partnerships and collaborations like never before in order to best support folks in the community who need us the most right now. That's why today we are celebrating the spirit of Thanksgiving with this special event to say thank you. We hope that the videos and messages you're about to see will demonstrate just how powerful and meaningful your support has been this year. With all of its challenges, 2020 has also been a year that's required us to think outside our typical boxes. When the COVID crisis hit our area at the end of March, the Y needed to shift gears quickly to respond to our community's most pressing needs. Because of you, the Y was able to focus on the three primary goals throughout this extended crisis: caring for children, supporting our members, and providing for the community. Whether you're a member, volunteer, staff, or donor, you've provided the vital support we needed to make this happen. We're excited to tell you about what the Y has been able to do with your help and to recognize some programs, staff, and volunteers who have truly gone above and beyond this year. We hope you're able to enjoy our presentations today and appreciate what an incredible impact you've made. First up, we'll hear from Megan Hamilton, the Y's Marketing and Communications Coordinator, who is also a parent of 3 children who spent their days at Camp Finberg this past summer.
Good afternoon. As Paul mentioned, my name is Megan Hamilton, and I am the mom of 3 Y kids who've done everything from swim lessons to camp to synchronized swimming, gymnastics, and more. I also grew up as a Y kid myself, starting summer camp when I was just 3, participating in every Y program possible until I became a lifeguard, then a camp counselor, camp director, and eventually a full-time YMCA professional. That's, I hate to say it, but over 4 decades of personal Y experience. But never, not as a Y kid, staff person, or as a parent, have I ever seen the Y play such a critical role in the lives of children as it has this year. When we had to close our doors as part of the statewide shutdown on March 16th, the Y didn't stop our focus on youth development. Instead, we made a shift, and in just 1 week, we began providing free childcare to the children of essential workers. While most people were still home, our dedicated childcare staff came to the Y every day to provide this critical care. They navigated an intensive list of new safety protocols, offered an engaging curriculum of fun enrichment activities, and supported our school-age kids with their remote learning through a difficult spring. This service made it possible for our community's essential workers to do their important work while having peace of mind that their children were in a safe, nurturing, happy place. Your support helped make that possible. As the COVID crisis continued much longer than any of us had ever expected at that point, the Y staff began to look ahead toward summer. Could we safely reopen camp? What safety protocols would be required? Would kids even wear masks? As families began returning to work, both in person and remotely, they told us that they needed the care. But was summer camp even possible in a global pandemic? As we found out, camp wasn't just possible, it was absolutely critical. Even with masks and social distancing, the bones of what a camp experience should be, friendship, achievement, belonging, and just being with other kids in a supportive environment outdoors, that was exactly what our kids needed. We heard again and again from parents how the camp experience had helped the kids greatly improve their physical, mental health in just a few short weeks. They told us how the caring staff had helped their kids ease back into the world again and let them just be kids. Many of our camp families would not have been able to afford summer camp without the camp scholarships that you made possible with your support and your donations. For some of our families, COVID created financial challenges that these families had never experienced before. For other families, there were other causes outside of their control that created both a financial and emotional strain. For the Dubofskis of Norton, for example, a cancer diagnosis in December, followed by COVID and then a knee surgery, made the start of 2020 especially difficult. Thanks to your support, the Y was able to provide a summer-long scholarship so that their daughter, Samantha, could attend Camp Finberg.
Yes, I mean, Samantha's been part of the Y since I probably want to say like 2 or 3 when we started taking her doing her swim lessons. I still remember one day we were in the pool swimming with the teacher, and the teacher goes, "Okay, you know what? I think you can jump over to the big kids now." And Samantha looked at me and goes, "Okay, Daddy, I don't need you anymore. Bye-bye." And just kind of went swimming with the older kids right there. And I was kind of like, what just happened? My little girl just grew up like in a matter of like 5 minutes. She went from like, "I need your help," to like, "Okay, Daddy, bye-bye. You can go now. I'm done." And she's been part of the Finberg family and the Y since then. She's been going to camps since probably since she was 4 or 5. I mean, we have pictures of her growing up, holding up the signs of the first day of camp every summer, and just comparing them year after year, watching her grow. And it's been a blessing. It's been great watching her do this. And I said this year has been it's been tough. It's been especially tough on all of us. Susan was diagnosed with cancer, colon cancer, back in December. The year took a couple of twists and turns, so that had a tremendous effect on her. It's been a very tough journey. Letting her go to the Y, though, for this summer for Camp Finberg has been probably her best thing. She's able to become a kid again. She's outside. She's outdoors. She's playing. She's with her best friend. She's able to smile and laugh and be the kid she's supposed to be. I mean, I want to say thank you to the donors. The donors are a big part. I mean, that was a big, sorry. When we got that donation for her and the scholarship, it was huge.
Thank you for making this summer a positive one for so many kids in our community. But the Y's not done caring for kids. When the uncertainty of this school year loomed, the Y dedicated our Pleasant Street branch to become a remote learning solution for families. By working closely with local schools and families, the Y was able to quickly develop a new program that kids in our community greatly needed. Today, the Attleboro Y Scholastic Support Center serves more than 120 school-age kids each week, providing childcare, remote learning assistance, enrichment activities, games, physical activities, and fun. Not only has the program been great for the kids, but it's given parents some relief from the challenges of remote learning days when they have to work. With your support, the Attleboro YMCA will continue to evolve to provide essential programs and resources to care for our community's children. At this point, we'd like to present the first Gratitude Award of today's event. For this Caring for Children Gratitude Award, we couldn't identify just one deserving person. Instead, we presented the Attleboro YMCA's Caring for Children Gratitude Award to the entire Camp Finberg 2020 staff. Many of these high school and college students saw their plans dissolve in a matter of days early this spring. But rather than dwell on their own misfortunes, this amazing team of young adults brought incredible joy, hope, and compassion to the campers that they served every day.
We have an exciting announcement based on nominations that have come in from camp families. We're presenting the 2020 camp staff with the Caring for Children Gratitude Award as a team. The impact you guys had on the kids' lives, you have it every year, but this year it was even more. And we heard from a lot of the parents saying that their kids were really struggling with anxiety and just kind of getting back into things after being locked down and school stopping and sports stopping and all of their socialization kind of coming to a halt. And then the gates opened and camp came on, and all those kids got to come out and be part of something that was just normal. It was the individual relationships that each of you had with each of their children, that parents' experience with their child coming home and saying how much it meant that camp counselor brightened their child's day and gave them some normalcy. So I just want to say thank you, and thank you on behalf of the whole Attleboro Y. You guys really were wonderful. It was great for the kids and provided them with some much needed fun, kids being kids, and they hadn't had that in a while.
As far as the staff, probably my top favorite memory of the summer that I still look back on when I have some tough times at school days or so, and I just want to laugh, is our staff music video. And it was just a really great summer to see them excited about those things again.
A lot of people talked about building relationships, not only with the kids and the campers, but also the staff members. We always say that camp relationships are like, they live on forever.
And now I'm going to turn it over to Lisa Hooker, one of the Y's Healthy Living Specialists.
I'm Lisa Hooker. I'm one of the Healthy Lifestyle Specialists at the Attleboro YMCA, but I've worked as a fitness instructor and personal trainer at the Y for the past 17 years. Like all of you, our typical plans and operations at the Y were put on hold. For 153 years, the Attleboro YMCA has been a place that brings the community together. Now with our doors closed, we had to quickly evaluate how we could maintain that community connection and continue to support our members through this crisis. Not just for their physical health, but for their mental well-being and to help diminish feelings of isolation. The governor's orders began on a Monday. By that Friday, we were already welcoming members to Your Virtual YMCA, an online portal for live online classes, recorded workouts, a member community via Facebook, and so much more. While our intent had been to support our members in their efforts to stay active and physically healthy, we quickly realized that the live classes via Zoom offered so much more than that. For many of our members who are isolated at home, these classes were a lifeline. As an instructor, I saw that right from the start. As members arrived early on Zoom or stayed online after class, so they had the opportunity to chat with their Y friends, even for a few precious minutes. That sense of community didn't end when our building closed. It just followed us to a new virtual location. For us instructors, that sense of community was so vital in keeping us going too. What was amazing to see was that as we worked to support our members returned the favor to support the Y and its staff. Even with our doors closed, so many of you chose to donate your monthly membership fees. With every email and call from a member saying, "Keep my membership active," we were reminded how lucky we are to serve this particular community. It is hard for me to describe the joy we felt in June when we were able to begin offering outdoor classes and to see our members in person once again. And then again in July, when we could welcome you back inside the downtown branch. With members re-entering the building, we were struck again by the kindness and respect that our members demonstrated to one another, wearing masks and adhering to new safety protocols. And even behind the masks, the smiles were bright, the hellos were friendly, and that sense of community was restored within our walls. It's now been 8 months since that initial shutdown in March. Today, our Y looks different. Our procedures are different. Some of our members visit the branch. Some are working out outside. Some still prefer to meet online from the safety of their home. 2020 has only reinforced the Y's commitment to support our members wherever they are, in terms of physical fitness and in terms of location. One great example of this is the Y's Delay the Disease program for Parkinson's disease. This particular staff team worked tirelessly through the spring to figure out how they could best serve their program participants, who were especially at risk due to COVID-19. Through recorded videos, live meets, endless emails, the staff maintained constant connection with the group and finally welcomed them back to the Y this fall. Last month, we surprised the Delay the Disease staff with a special gratitude award presentation.
We are so grateful for our leadership of the Delay the Disease program and the work that Nicole, Lisa, Anna before, and Jen do and have done to be creative in how to continue to engage and interact and support and lead. Not all Y staff know how to do this, but Nicole, Lisa, Jen, and Anna, they know how to do it. And so, creatively engaging and doing everything they could then and now to make sure that you have the very best support in your efforts to be healthier. Ryan has a token of our appreciation for Nicole.
You're welcome.
And for Lisa.
The folks who come to Delay the Disease and our other programs for the Parkinson's disease programs are among the most hardworking, dedicated, wonderful folks who do not like to miss a workout and who make it easy to come and teach them every week.
This group is the perfect reminder that wherever we may be, the Y is here for good. Next up, our CEO, Robin McDonald, will speak to you about the Y's community initiatives through 2020.
Hi, I'm Robin McDonald, CEO of the Attleboro YMCA. As I've said many times over the past several months, I must have missed the day they covered how to lead a nonprofit community organization through a global pandemic, back when I was in college. Joking aside, there's just no textbook for this, and we're all learning as we go. I'm so incredibly proud of how our Y, our staff, our volunteer board of directors, and many community partners have been able to change course and innovate through this past year to ensure that we're doing the best to meet our community's ever-changing needs. I'm truly thankful for all of the support and the trust that you've given our Y through the years, but especially now when our community needs us most. Some of you are longtime donors, some of you are our Y members who generously donated your membership dues through this past months while we were closed, and I really thank you for that. One way we put your generosity to use was feeding and providing for our neighbors. When the pandemic hit our area, unemployment and food insecurity grew quickly and significantly. By June, 17.3% of Massachusetts households were facing food insecurity. 1 in 5 households where children in Massachusetts were facing food insecurity. From speaking to community partners, we learned that by early April, the demand for emergency meals and food assistance had already doubled. Right inside our own YMCA, we focused our immediate attention on the 14 low-income men who reside on the top floor of our downtown branch. We knew we needed to make sure that they had access to food and supplies while also ensuring that they could remain safe and COVID-free for all. Fortunately for us, we had a team of dedicated Y staff, generous donors, and a great chef in Matt Haste who were ready to provide delicious and healthy meals for our residents. Thanks to a grant from the City of Attleboro, we were also able to provide rental assistance for residents, many of whom had experienced a job loss or a reduction in hours due to COVID. We knew caring for our own residents was just not enough, and we quickly began to take a look at how the Y could best provide for our greater community through this crisis. Fortunately for us, we have some amazing dedicated community partners that we've established over the years. And through those partnerships with the Hebron Food Pantry, Empty Bowls, the Attleboro Interfaith Collaborative, the Literacy Center, and many others, the Attleboro YMCA helped to provide resources and venues to provide emergency food services for our community and for our seniors. Through our partnerships, the Y also coordinated Greater Attleboro Stronger Together. With 26 other nonprofits in just 1 month, this community-wide initiative raised over $500,000 to ensure that area nonprofits were able to serve their constituents' most urgent needs, including things like food assistance, residence assistance, rental assistance, and support for medical expenses and mental health support. As part of that effort, the Attleboro Y distributed over $10,000 in gift cards to community members for groceries, prescriptions, and other critical needs.
I was invited to take part on the planning team of the Greater Attleboro Stronger Together Fund. The Attleboro YMCA served as the fund's financial agent. This fund was crucial to 25 organizations in Attleboro and the surrounding towns. This fund was a safety net for the individuals and families served by these organizations. The Stronger Together Fund allowed us to concentrate on alleviating hunger and adapting our programming to keep pace with the growing need. As a member of the planning team, as one of the nonprofit partners, thank you to the YMCA for your leadership.
The Y would not be able to take on these types of initiatives without the support of members, donors, and of course, a dedicated crew of volunteers. Now I'd like to recognize one particular team of volunteers, a group of people who consistently go above and beyond expectations and who share their talents, generosity, and influence as volunteers with several different organizations to make the greatest impact they can for our community, and to participate in initiatives with causes that are important to them. Each of these people share an innate sense of social responsibility that each of us can and should do all that we can to ensure better lives for all. I guess that's why they make such a great team. Earlier this month, we presented this special team with our Providing Community Gratitude Award. Hi, and welcome to this segment of our YMCA Virtual Hour of Gratitude. I'm joined here by a few folks I'd like to introduce you to. Martha Matnick, Sally Cobb, Sarah Mott, Donna Bliss, David LaFerriere, and not with us, but part of this group, Darlene Blazewski. These folks are amazing volunteers as individuals and as a team, and they're truly an inspiration to us and to the community. They're role models for others and have done an amazing job supporting organizations that they care about. Nonprofits, schools, families, and individuals would all be lost without volunteers and community helpers like these. Volunteers truly make the world a better place. Together, each of these folks are volunteers for the Empty Bowls Project. They make up the team of volunteers that raised awareness to food insecurity in the greater Attleboro area, and also have raised a significant amount of funding in the last 2 years to help address this issue. I'd like to ask, Sarah, what is it that compels you to volunteer?
Okay, thanks, Robin. Thanks for everything and all your kind words. This is exciting. So what compels me to volunteer is what I get back from giving my time and meeting people in the community. There are just so many ways that personally it feeds my soul and helps my growth, but also makes me connect with really wonderful people.
I lived in Attleboro all my life. My kids went to the Y, they went to camp, and they met so many people from different walks of life. And I feel it's important that every child gets that opportunity. Whether or not it's the spin-a-thon to raise money for camp, or if it's empty bowls to make sure people in the community have food, it's a way of giving back. I've been fortunate. I've had a wonderful life. We had business in Attleboro, and once we retired, we both looked at each other and said, it's time.
As an artist in Attleboro, that's what really got me into volunteering. There's a lot of work that does go into these background before an event, and when you get to that event, it's right here. It's right here, that feeling. It's pretty awesome.
You know, I had really great role models growing up. My parents were volunteers. They did a lot in the community. And my dad always said that it's our job to be helpers.
I have a firm belief that if you are blessed enough to have time and resources, you should share them.
Thanks for those inspirational words. Times in the news can be bleak these days amid a pandemic. But these folks, they provide brightness, optimism, joy, and inspiration. On behalf of the Attleboro Y, on behalf of our community, the nonprofits, the schools, the kids and the families that are helped by their efforts, we want to thank them for everything they do. And we have a small token of our appreciation that we hope that they can take with them today. Thanks. And now, I'd like to introduce Mark Cuddy and the Y's Fund Development Committee for a very special thank you presentation.
Thanks, Robin. In the spirit of community gratitude, we wanted to pay special tribute today to someone who has dedicated herself to serving the community, Representative Elizabeth Poirier. Earlier this month, we held a small in-person ceremony at the Y Scholastic Support Center on Pleasant Street to pay tribute to Betty and her decades of service. In addition to the in-person ceremony, we are also very pleased to share a pre-recorded message by our governor, Charlie Baker.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Attleboro YMCA's Scholastic Support Center. We're really pleased today to have some guests, some friends, some fellow legislators here with us to really recognize and honor Representative Betty Poirier for all the work that she has done on behalf of her constituents, and certainly as a YMCA of Attleboro board member, all the work that she has done on behalf of our YMCA and the community. So with no further ado, we're going to begin the recognition opportunity, and I'd like to introduce Paul Schleicher. Paul is the former fire chief in Norton and currently the board chair of the Attleboro YMCA. Paul?
Thank you, Robin. Betty,
Yes.
over the past 21 years, Representative Betty Poirier has served constituents in North Attleboro, Mansfield, and Norton. Betty has served as an Attleboro YMCA board member since 2012. As we all know, Betty is a dedicated public servant and volunteer. Betty has always been a YMCA advocate, supporter, and champion on the Hill. We'd like to present Betty with a proclamation in recognition of her 21 years of outstanding service.
Harry, age 4, describes a community helper as someone who is happy and smiles. Amelia, age 6, describes a community helper as someone who helps an older person. Anaya, which is me, age 9, describes a community helper as someone who is kind and passionate about helping others.
The Y's 4th graders describe a community helper as someone who includes everyone no matter who they are, and whereas Norm, age 12, describes a community helper as someone who respects others even when they don't respect you, and whereas Representative Elizabeth Poirier embodies all of the qualities of a community leader. Now therefore be it resolved that we, the children and adults of the Attleboro YMCA, hereby proclaim October 28, 2020 to be Elizabeth Poirier Community Helper Day, and urge all citizens to take cognizance of this event and participate fittingly in its observance by demonstrating the YMCA's core values of caring, honesty, respect, and responsibility. Given at the Attleboro YMCA Scholastic Support Center, this the 28th day of October in the year of 2020.
Hi, my name's Jay Barrows, and I represent Mansfield, Norton, and Foxborough, and Betty and I share Mansfield together. And she is indeed a community helper. There isn't a day that goes by that she doesn't pick up the phone and call somebody that might be in need, or the phone doesn't ring from somebody that's in need, and she takes the call. There is no litmus test. The work that you do for your communities is unmatched.
Hi, I'm Jim Hawkins. I'm the state rep in Attleboro. And I think the most remarkable thing is that for all that she brings to the table, she never takes credit for it. A lot of people have no idea how much she does because she lets us take credit for something that she did. She's been an amazing partner in what we do up at the State House and what we do in Attleboro.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Paul Feeney, and I'm blessed to be the state senator from here in the Bristol and Norfolk district and representing Attleboro and Mansfield along with my colleague and friend, Representative Poirier. What a fitting place to be here to show tribute to an amazing public servant in a place at a time when we're showing gratitude, in a season of gratitude. When we look at the mission of the YMCA and everything that's done in this building to empower especially young people throughout Attleboro, we look to our leaders. We look to people like Representative Poirier, who I am grateful to know and to have served with. You know, Rep. Poirier embodies the mission of what we all try and do in public service, and certainly what we do here at the YMCA.
Hey everybody, Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker here, and I'm thrilled to have this opportunity to spend a few minutes talking about my friend, Representative Betty Poirier, and the recent Gratitude Award that she received from the Attleboro YMCA, an organization on whose board she sat for many years. Let me first off just start by saying that, in my view, everybody should give Betty Poirier a Gratitude Award. And the reason I say that is because I've been around Betty enough to know that she makes everybody feel like they're special. I can tell you, she pays attention and she follows up. And the final thing I'll say, and I think it's a perfect statement about the kind of person Betty is, I can't tell you how many times I went to events with Betty down in her district, and local officials would be there, Democrats and Republicans, state reps would be there, Democrats and Republicans, and many times when the events were about or for Betty, you would see those same folks there, Democrats and Republicans. In this day and age, it's so important that people know how to work across the aisle. And Betty, you are one of those people who time and time again has done it with grace and dignity and kindness. And for that, the YMCA is grateful, but let me tell you something, so are the rest of us. Congratulations.
Well, if I can keep from crying for a few minutes, you know, what strikes me here this morning is, first of all, thank you for doing this, Robin, from the Y. The Y's mission is to always be there when no one else is there. And we've witnessed it this morning with all of these children here doing their remote learning. And they're at the Y, and they're safe, and they're being watched out for, being fed, etc. And we all need to follow that mission. My colleagues here today are just dedicated, wonderful people, and I am the one who is fortunate to have had the opportunity to work with them, some longer than others. All we want to do collectively is take care of the individuals who are there, and we do it as a team, and it doesn't have anything to do with Republican or Democrat. And in spite of the times that we're going through that seem very partisan, we are all just people, and we all live in Massachusetts. And we want our state to succeed, we want our people to be fed and cared for, and we want them to succeed. I don't want anybody to suffer in silence. If someone needs help, they should reach out. And I will help them till the very last day I'm in office, and then I'll turn it over to somebody else. It's been a privilege, it's been an honor. I can't think of anything I'd rather do than help those people that we all represent and the people that the YMCA serves, and all of you who dedicate yourselves to doing the very same thing, just in a different place. And I do so appreciate this today. Thank you so much, really. Thank you.
Great recognition of a wonderful public servant. We also have a great team of YMCA volunteers who work tirelessly all year to raise funds to support our mission. I want to thank them, and I know they too have some thanks to share.
I'm Jan Alden, and I want to thank you, Donna Bliss and Kate Mangiarati, for co-chairing this year's Spinathon on March 9th. Who knew how fortunate we were to get this event in with over 300 riders kicking off this year's Spinathon and raising over $62,000.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Hall, and I would like to thank you to all of the parents who entrust us to take care of their children. Over 2,000 children have been in our child care, camp, and remote learning center in 2020.
Hi, this is Jane Coogan. A big thank you to my favorite crew, the child care staff, the camp staff, and all of the Y staff who have been there throughout this year, and particularly throughout the pandemic, working selflessly to serve our Y members and also our families.
Hi, Tom Kelly here. The Y staff and board members have been challenged every day to meander through these challenging times. I want to thank fellow board members for their continued dedication, serving the Y, and providing ongoing support and guidance.
Hi, Chris Sweet here. At the heart of every YMCA is our members. Over 60% of the Attleboro YMCA members kept their memberships active by donating their membership during the months we were closed. Our YMCA had more members stay with us during the months of April, May, and June than any of our neighboring YMCAs. The Attleboro Y members are clearly very special people.
Hi, Jeff Nelson here. YMCA donors have been generous over the years, but none more than this year. For those of you who have given an annual donation, even though we have not been able to hold our annual campaign breakfast, thank you.
I want to thank Mark Cuddy for his leadership of the Fund Development Committee and all the working committee members for raising the money much needed in 2020. We couldn't do it without you.
And John Wesowitz here. I want to thank you, Paul, for all the members of the Y, for your leadership as chairman of the YMCA Board of Directors.
We couldn't do it without you. Your support has made someone's life easier, fuller, and more rewarding during this difficult year. As a token of our thanks, please open the thank you gift that you should have received in the mail. If you didn't receive a gift yet, it's likely because you registered for our event this week, but your gift will be in the mail, I promise you. We hope you're proud of the impact your support has made on our community this year. If you'd like to continue to support the Y's cause and continue your life-changing impact, through the end of the year and into 2021, please fill out the pledge card or go to attleboroymca.org/gratitude to make a donation online. Thanks for joining us. We wish you a wonderful Thanksgiving and know that at the Y, we're forever grateful to your support. Be safe.